Hey guys, it's the Spirit Room 152. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple different things. Okay, so first thing, I recently joined a company called J. Elizabeth. I'm a stylist for them now. Okay, so like what J. Elizabeth is, like they have like really cool clothing pieces. They mostly sell like t-shirts and hats and stuff. I recently got this shirt. It says Shuck This. I will post a link down below to where you can get it. And this video is not sponsored by them, just so we're clear. Okay. And second thing is, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a little while. Okay, so a few months ago, I went to see my gynecologist because I thought I was having issues with my IUD. And if you don't know what an IUD is essentially a T-shaped piece of plastic that either has hormones or copper, and it has strings, and it's a form of birth control that goes up your uterus and it stays there, and it lasts and the effectiveness of it is lasts about 3 to 12 years, and the efficacy rate is about 99.8%. So your failure rate is about 0.2%, somewhere in there. And so I went to see my doctor because I thought something was wrong with it, because I was bleeding, and because I had this IUD for a long time, and I hadn't had my period in several years because I have Mirena, and it just completely stopped. So I go to see my GYN. She's like, oh, everything's good, bleeding is a normal part of it, you're gonna get your period on it. And so she examines me to make sure like everything is taken care, and make sure like my IUD is okay, make sure I'm taken care of, and she has to take swabs for STD testing. Which I thought I understand that it needed to be done, but to me it was kind of pointless because I've only ever had sex with one person. And yeah. And so I'm laying on the examination table. I'm getting all this done. And my doctor says to the nurse who's in the room with her and me, she was telling her about like how I came to her asking for an IUD even though I'd never had a pelvic exam, and I was still a virgin at the time, like I hadn't had sex yet. And the reason why I got an IUD, it actually wasn't for birth control purposes. It was because I was having issues with heavy bleeding. And it's like, what can be done to fix it? What are my options? And so I talked to my doctor about the IUD, and she thought it was best course of action. I actually have Mirena, which is the hormonal one, and that was that. And so yeah, my doctor's telling the nurse about how brave I was for doing it, and personally, I don't think I was being brave. To me, it was more so like, okay, I have a problem. What can be done to resolve it? And that's when I concluded with the IUD. And also, this is where it gets kind of interesting, to say the least. And also, so I didn't start using my IUD for birth control purposes until about 2 years ago. And so there was that. So I didn't start using it for birth control purposes, but also having it, I also told my doctor, and also it made me realize I'm not ready for a life of school pickups and scheduled sex. And it was that day that my doctor explained to me, dead ass explained to me, how how sex after parenthood works. And I had never been so freaked out in my life by a doctor. And I've had a male gynecologist before. So, to me it was just weird that she was explaining this to me. And she said, Christina, that's not exactly how sex after parenthood works. And I was like, okay, how does it work then? I mean, the kids do go to sleep at some point, and that's, like, the kids do go to sleep at some point, and that's when you know, and I was thinking, ew, ew, ew. Ew. And she has children, okay? So clearly she was talking from personal experience. I was like, oh my God. But I understood that she was trying to explain this to me, but it's like, this shit's too real. But yeah. Shit got very, very real that day. But yeah. So that's about it for this video. Other than like joining a company and, you know, talking about my adventures with my IUD and my gynecologist, I think that's about it for this video. Okay, so the Spirit of 152 signing off. Alright, bye guys.